Hey, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever, wherever the hell you might be. Welcome back to another episode of the Witching Hour podcast. I'm your host, as always, John Royslin. With me tonight, joining me, the multi-talented and lovely Miss Kerry Mcgwire hailing from Surprise, Arizona,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Nice. Well, Kerry, welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight on the Witching Hour podcast. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Oh, thank you. You have been now you are not a actress by trade.
No.
This is something that you just happen to have said, why not give it a shot? How did this happen for you?
Well, it all happened when Damien and David did the Indiegogo campaign for Terrifier 2. And I was just like, I have to do it. I have to get killed by Art the Clown. If it's anything I do in my life, is to be killed by Art the Clown. And once I got on set, and it was just a lot of fun. And I'm not trying to be an actress. It's just fun getting killed. Just trying to see how many deaths I can rack up.
So was that honestly was that your first film, your first
Yes.
acting role? Really?
Yep.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
I mean, that's really impressive. I mean, obviously, in the horror community, everybody knew that part two was going to be coming out and being made. And much like you, I'm sure tons of people would love the opportunity to get killed on screen, and especially by someone like David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown, who has, I mean, I've got to give David and Damien credit because they have brought this movie to what seems to have been almost overnight stardom.
Yes.
There are classics that you and I and the entire horror community have grown up on, with the Halloween sagas and Friday the 13th and the Jasons and Michael Myers and Freddy. And then all of a sudden, Terrifier hits the ground and is running and screaming on fire. And
I love it.
it is just tearing everything up. And Art the Clown is now just as popular as a horror icon than anybody else that has been around for generations already.
Yep.
And it's amazing to watch that happen. So how was the casting call? I mean, how hard was it? Was there callbacks? Because there had to have been a lot of people, I would imagine, that showed up or wanted to try to be in the position that you were for that role.
Actually, it was the Indiegogo. There was five perks available, and you bought one, and you just they gave you information to come out, and it was just the people who bought the perks. So it wasn't an audition or anything, and
Okay, gotcha.
it was right before COVID hit, so it was like super. It was crazy because I almost got stuck there and wasn't able to get home.
Oh my God. Could you have imagined? And obviously, again, you traveled from Arizona to New York, I'm assuming,
Yes,
to do
by
that.
myself.
Oh my God.
My husband couldn't go, so I was just like, I'm going. I got my airplane, I got my car and my room, and I'm like, bye. I'll be back.
Could you have imagined waking up that next morning, calling the husband and saying, so yeah, I can't leave the city or even the hotel because of this thing called COVID all of a sudden?
And I just got a new job too. I had to make up a really horrible lie, so I couldn't.
Oh my God. Well, if you're with them still, I hope they don't actually watch this
No, I'm
episode
not with them.
and see that. But hey, no, I mean, congratulations, because that's amazing. Because I mean, you are a part, in my honest opinion, of what is horror cinematic history.
Yes.
Terrifier 2 broke ground. It was in the movie theater. It kept going and extending the movie theater dates. It went back to the movies again. And like I said, its popularity is just, and you're a part of that.
And just hearing Howard Stern talking about it, and Stephen King saw it. It's like it's in Brazil, it's in Germany, and it's like just crazy.
Everywhere. I mean, I don't, sure, you see people with tattoos and t-shirts, but I don't think I've ever honestly seen something catch on as fast, merchandise wise, everything as Art the Clown has. And I am so happy for Damien. I'm so happy, for David Howard Thornton. That role was made for him. He just mastered it to a T
They deserve it.
without having to say one word in either of the movies so far. It's just it's amazing. It really is. Now, moving forward, that's not your only role so far,
Yes.
correct? Now you have, I believe, 3 extra roles coming up.
Yes.
that you're part of.
I'm in The Dead Place, also with David, directed by Michael Pickle. That's in post-production. It should be coming out pretty soon.
Mhm.
I'm in Desert Fiends by Sean Phillips. That's in. It should be done pretty. I think it's pretty much done. They're shopping for distribution and everything. And then Skate to Hell was the last one I just did by Sean Phillips. It's in pre-production right now.
And he's really been pushing that one. That one looks really that one looks like what looks to be like a lot of fun.
Yes.
So with now The Dead Place, is that the hard place also?
No, those are 2 separate movies.
They are.
Yeah, Hard Place is by Jason Horton.
Okay, now you're in that one as well, correct? Or are you listed on that one?
I wasn't able to make it out to filming though, so I wasn't able to do it.
Oh, okay. I was reading through briefly descriptions of the films coming out, and I'll tell you what, that one sounds really interesting. I kind of like the way that one's playing out. So
I was bummed I couldn't do that one, but
I mean, you're really stretching yourself thin. I mean, you are the horror fan that is living out a lot of horror fans' dreams.
yeah.
You're taking the opportunity to not really pursue an acting career, so to speak, but if you have the means and the opportunity to be involved in it for a small split second, a kill scene, an extra in the background, you're all over it.
And I love helping, donating to the Indiegogos. I love it's fans that help the Indiegogos make their movies. So
Right.
I really I support them.
And then, of course, Mr. Billy Pond himself, congratulations on being picked up for his Circus of the Dead 2. That's going to be a huge, huge movie.
Yes.
That's going to be great. Now, so let me ask, how did that one come about?
Just we're really good friends, and helped. I donated also to his camp to help him out a little bit too. So, he's like, "How'd you like to get killed in it?" And I was like, "Okay."
Pinche Karen, is that right?
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah. Now that one is still in extreme pre-production, correct?
Yeah, he'll be doing the Indiegogo probably next month. Once he gets the funds for that, then it's full steam ahead.
Now, I know you geographically, I'm trying to picture you in Texas and everything out in the Midwest. I shouldn't say the farthest, but I've been to Vegas once, only for like a week. Primarily, I'd have to say Chicago's been like kind of my cutoff. I'm usually an East Coast person, but I know you do a lot of horror convention travels as well.
Yes.
One of which I want to say a year ago, you and your husband actually renewed your vows at.
Yes.
And that was by Bill Moseley.
Yeah, that was fun.
And that was actually done by, now he was in character, correct?
Yeah, Otis.
He actually was as Otis. And then, oh God, it was Richard Brake was there, I believe.
Yes.
They were kind of playing character off of each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that had been that's I couldn't even imagine.
I had no idea because Bill Moseley said they were talking about it beforehand, and they were like, let's do something funny, and I had no idea that they were going to do that.
Really? Oh my God, that's amazing.
I'm glad we got it on tape because that was hilarious.
That's, I mean, that, yeah, that's quite the feat. So at, at what age did you start to really acquire the love for the horror genre?
Oh, probably about eight, nine. Watching Jaws and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Scanners and V8 Visiting Hours.
All the greats.
Yep.
All
I
the,
actually, when I met Michael Ironside, I told him that was one of my first movies I saw with him was Visiting Hours, and he goes, "Your mom let you watch that?" And I was like, "No."
yeah, I can remember my dad letting me sit in the dark on the love seat with him one night watching it late at night when my mom was actually asleep. So yeah, mine too. Mine too. God, that was such a great film. So I mean, at what point, obviously, you remember watching them and falling in love with them. Have you always been, I don't want to say, you have people nowadays that are so intent. You've got baseball fans, you've got, let's say sporting fans, you've got your sci-fi and your comic people, and you've got your horror community. Very tight-knit group of people.
Yep.
At what point in your life did you think that you actually joined and became a part of that? And, not just wearing a concert t-shirt or a flannel t-shirt, and actually started wearing those, the Halloween t-shirts or Freddy.
Terrifier.
See, and there we go. And there we go.
That's all
Perfect.
I wear.
Exactly. And so is it safe to say, honestly, that Terrifier or Terrifier 2, perhaps, is your favorite horror film?
I would say so right now. Yeah, there is just it's just such an amazing character, and there's just nobody like him right now.
Right. If not for Terrifier, if art didn't exist, if the Terrifier series didn't exist, what do you think throughout history of all the films that you've seen horror film wise, what would you say would stick out as being your all-time favorite horror movie?
Ugh, I like Halloween 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I can watch that. I can turn that on and watch it over and over and over again.
Right.
I don't know. I like House of a Thousand Corpses.
Sure.
Uh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just all the old ones too. Exorcist and.
So dealing with Terrifier and the crew from Terrifier, meaning Damien Leone, and of course David Howard Thornton. Last week, you were fortunate enough to head back to the East Coast again, to New York last Thursday, getting all dolled up, you and the hubby, and were a part of the new, highly anticipated stream, the movie premiere.
Yes.
At least. Now, how was that? I saw some of your pictures, some of your videos. I mean, the whole red carpet schmoozing with the big wigs. That had to have been one hell of a night.
That was fun. Yeah. We donated to the stream campaign when they were doing their campaign too. So we got the tickets for the premiere because we were like, I got to go to that.
Right.
So, and that was like, 2.5 years ago, and we bought it and paid for it. So it was like, when we finally came around, we're pretty excited to be able to go out there and support them and actually see it first. That was fun.
Now, did any at something like that? Of course, when you go to a convention, you've got the whole wall of tables of celebrities that are always nice to shake your hand, so forth. But as far as going up to them and asking for a picture, I don't know if anybody would actually ask for an autograph, or maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I've never been in that situation. Was anybody kind of celebrity wise? And I don't want you to have to answer it, feel bad about mentioning any names or feel awkward about it. But was there anybody that was kind of like, kind of standoffish as far as the crowd being, oh my God, take a picture, sign my boop, sign whatever. I mean, everybody there seemed to have been in a very cordial, very friendly, outgoing, happy mode.
Yes.
I was just wondering if there was anybody that was kind of,
No, everybody was pretty much, hey, come on, take pictures. It's, everybody
Right.
was pretty happy. And even people that I didn't know, like, I don't know her last name is Isla. She was in stream. She was one of the people in stream, and I didn't know her. And she's like, "Hi." She goes, "Come over here. Oh, you look great." And she's like, "Let's take pictures." And I was like, "Okay."
Now, when you were doing Terrifier 2, did you meet or see Jason or Michael Levy there since they produced Terrifier 2? Were they on set when you were filming your scene?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, Mike actually he was standing above the camera when I was getting shot, and he's like, Kerry, you're getting shot. People are dying all around you, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, I was just smiling, and he's like, "Don't smile. You're scared. You're scared." And then I finally like kind of did what I was supposed to do, but
Right.
the first time the blood came up, it didn't go up as high as it was supposed to. So Damien was like, "Let's do it again." So we did it again. They filled up the blood tubes, and when the second time it went really high, and it was perfect, and everybody was applauding and screaming. And I have a video of Jason Levy going, "Yeah!" and clapping. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That I would have loved to have seen that, especially, and that's the one thing, they don't with horror movies, unfortunately, no matter how serious of a movie and how ugly and nasty it might be, damn well there's outtakes that, because not every scene happens right the first time, obviously.
Yes.
And obviously, they don't want to take away from this very dark movie that they've just presented to you to show outtakes during the credits. But man, wouldn't it be great to actually be able to see a lot of those behind the scene outtakes?
I should actually post some because I have a whole folder of my friends that were there that were also in the movie. We all have a big folder of them. And there's videos of David dancing around and
Oh my God.
riding the bike and everything. And I should post some of those on Arthur Clown Appreciation Society because
I would, and that was what was the next thing I was going to get to was anybody out there who does not know, Kerry moderates. I believe it is actually your page, correct?
No, it's actually Steve Jennings. He's the one that started it. He's in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
8 of us now. We're all big old team.
Okay. All right. So it is the correct me, I always say it backwards. Um Art the Clown
Appreciation Society.
Appreciation Society. Thank you. I love how it is Appreciation Society. It makes it sound like
Highfalutin.
yes, it really does. So what's next? I mean, obviously, I know you're married, family, job. What's next for you as far as your alter ego goes, your horror life? I know you've got Circus of the Dead 2 when that finally comes around. Is there anything between now and then per se that you are going to be that you're involved on, working on, even conventions that you've got planned?
Yeah, I got a couple conventions. We're doing Gathering of the Ghouls in Mesa here next week. Me and my husband are going to be working with Dave Sheridan and Felissa Rose.
Oh wow!
We'll be helping them, and then September not that much. October we got a cruise we're going on, and then we're going to go to the it's supposed to be the premiere in Michigan for Terrifier 3. That was when it was supposed to be on October 25th. But we're going to be there with Bob and David and Damien.
Nice.
We got that, and then Chicago Days of the Dead.
That is one I've always wanted to try and get out to. I've wanted to do that as well as I know Billy has told me so many times. He's like, John, you got to save up the pennies. Come on down to Texas Frightmare sometime. He's like, I guarantee you are going to have a great time down here.
That's a good one. Yes.
Yeah. And it's so upsetting too, because in the horror community, I shouldn't say it in a bad way, but some of my best friends today are in the horror community that I physically have never even met yet.
Yep. Some of my best friends, I haven't met them. And I'm looking, so I look forward to when I go to conventions. I'm like, hey, we're gonna meet finally.
Exactly, exactly. And I've interviewed Billy what 3, 4 times, corresponded, talked to him on the phone, this, that, and have never once even shaken the man's hand.
Him and Kelly are just amazing. Both of them are sweet and just silly, and they're just great.
Yeah, I would love to honestly sit down and meet that man. I don't know if I could keep a straight face the entire time, because no matter how serious our interviews go, he turns it, flips it around, and talks. I don't even want to go there.
I love it. I love
yeah,
talking to him. He's funny.
yeah, he is, and she definitely seems to. They seem to be the right balance for each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great set. Listen, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. I want to touch base with you. You are a horror fan living out the horror fan's dreams. You truly are. And I admire that. And I respect that. And I also hate you at the same time, because you're out there at every damn convention posting all these pictures of that I can't get to.
But I try to include you by showing them all. I want people to see everything.
And I appreciate that. I sincerely do. No, I wish you all the best. You and your husband seem to be a great team. I see you guys always having fun together doing these conventions. It's great that the two of you have that bond in common.
Yeah.
And it's not like you love the horror and he just loves romantic comedies or something and can't stand horror movies, because I've got friends that are like that.
Yeah.
I took one to New Jersey a couple years ago. He hates horror. It literally scares him. But he wanted to go see me in my element, is exactly what he told me. And he had a good time. It was neat for him to see everybody in the cosplay and in the camaraderie of everything. But it was kind of hard going to something like that with someone who is an outsider to it.
Yeah, isn't into it as much as you are. You know that they're not having a really great time.
Exactly. And at one point I kind of looked over and I was like, I could stay here all day and just walk and talk and listen, and you're just kind of like walking behind me, following the leader, not really getting into it.
Yeah.
He's just there, part of the documentary, so to speak. But I can at least say I took a noob,
Yeah.
broke the cherry. He got to go to one convention. It was a good one. Middle of the summer, Monster Mania in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And I think that was actually the year that the AC broke.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was.
I've been to those before. They're not fun.
Yeah. So we actually left a little bit early, went headed towards Philly, got a cheesesteak, and just called it a day. But regardless, he was one of my best friends. We still had a great time, and I was glad to. I was actually touched that, instead of him saying, dude, you're on your own. There's no way in hell I'm going to take my day and my money and go do something like that.
That's a good friend, though, that they want to, they'll do that for you.
And he's Mr. Clean Cut, so I appreciated him, picking up on my end and, balancing it out like that.
Yeah.
But Kerry, no, I want to thank you. As much as you've got going on, interviewing film actors, directors, writers, producers, musicians, bands, artists, and so forth is great. And I love talking to all of them and helping them and supporting and promoting. You are down here with me. I've been in one small film, and I appreciate what you are doing so much.
Oh, thank you.
That I wanted to give recognition where it's due. Everybody tries to go to conventions and, hits the share button on social media to help promote another movie that's coming out and so forth. And you are just diving in there, and there's all kinds of perks that people can do to help support with Indiegogos, and you are doing that and physically becoming a part of the movie, which I so commend you for. I'm so jealous about that. But you deserve a little bit of spotlight and recognition for for keeping that torch going for for the horror fans. And I thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me on. It was fun.
Of course, I appreciate it. And just keep it up. Boys and girls, this is John with the Witching Hour podcast. With me tonight was the young, talented Miss Kerry Mcgwire from the first kill, Tommy gun style, from Art the Clown, from Terrifier.
Swiss cheese titties.
So now you're all going to run back out there, going to watch it again, say, holy shit, that really is her. And then when you put the remote down and you pick your phone right back up, because it's right next to your hand the whole time, you're on Facebook, Art the Clown Appreciation Society on Facebook. Be sure to check it out, and be sure to check out Kerry and a lot of other upcoming great indie horror films, including Billy Pond's own Circus of the Dead 2, that people have been waiting on for a long time. Billy, get your ass together. So with that being said, folks, please hit the subscribe button, support Kerry, and of course, all the indie horror out there. We will talk to you guys soon. And as always, please remember to keep it evil. Kerry, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too. Bye.